For millennia, humanity has looked to the heavens, the earth, and the mysteries, within seeking answers to the fundamental questions of existence. Where do we come from? What is our purpose? What happens after we die? This search for understanding has given rise to the beliefs, rituals, and spiritual traditions that we broadly call religion. But where did it all begin? In a world without written language, without scientific understanding, a world where the line between the visible and the invisible was blurred, early humans, our distant ancestors, faced a universe of immense power and unpredictability. They were at the mercy of the rhythms of nature, and the inexplicable became the domain of the sacred. It was not a conscious decision to create religion, but rather a natural outcome of observation, experience, and the inherent human need to make sense of it all. The earliest forms of religion were probably animistic, a belief that all things living and non-living possess a spirit. Trees, rocks, rivers, the wind itself, all were seen as imbued with a conscious presence, forces that could be revered or feared. These were not formal doctrines, but rather deeply ingrained ways of relating to the world. We see evidence of this in cave paintings, depictions of animals and hunting scenes, perhaps attempts to connect with the spirit of the hunt. Ensuring success and survival, rituals developed, often centered on life cycles, birth, coming of age, death. Burial practices became increasingly elaborate, indicating a belief that life continued beyond the grave, a seed of ideas that would echo throughout human history. They were not simply practical measures. They were acts of reverence designed to appease, petition, or engage with the powerful forces that were believed to govern their existence. The sacred was not separate from the natural world. It was the natural world infused with spiritual meaning. As human societies became more obscure, a new figure emerged. The shaman. In many ways, shamans were the first religious specialists. Individuals believed to have the ability to connect with the spirit world, often through altered states of consciousness induced by chanting, dancing, or the use of specific plants. Shamans were intermediaries between the human and spirit realms. They could heal the sick, divine the future, and guide the community in matters of both practical and spiritual significance. They often held positions of power and respect, shaping the moral and social fabric of their tribes. Shamanic traditions varied greatly from culture to culture, reflecting the diverse environments and belief systems of early human societies. Yet they all shared commonalities: a belief in spiritual beings, the power of ritual, and the importance of maintaining harmony between the human and supernatural worlds. The practices of shamanism represent a turning point, a shift from a primarily animistic view to a more defined system of spiritual interaction, laying the foundation for what was to come. It was a belief in the possibility of interacting with and influencing the spirit world, offering an active role for humans within the vast mystery of existence. As human populations grew, so did the complexity of our belief systems. The agricultural revolution brought settled communities, larger populations, and the need for more organized structures, and religion was no exception. In places like Mesopotamia, Egypt, and the Indus Valley, we see the emergence of what might be called organized religion. These religions involved structured priesthoods, codified rituals, dedicated temples, and pantheons of gods and goddesses, each with their own spheres of influence. Nature worship evolved into a more personalized relationship with their deity figures. We went from simply revering the forces of nature to interacting with specific gods, thought to control those forces. It is here that we see the emergence of myths and legends, explaining the origins of the cosmos, humanity, and the meaning of life. Stories that were often passed down from generation to generation, shaping the cultural and moral values of their societies. These religions were not just all systems of belief. They were also instruments of social and political control. Priesthoods often held immense power, shaping laws, customs, and artistic expression. Temples became centers of religious, political, and economic life, serving as hubs of social interaction and community identity. The creation of sacred texts, even if they were originally oral traditions that were later transcribed, provided a means of preserving and transmitting these beliefs, ensuring their continuity over time. This period was defined by the formalization of religious concepts, from worship of local spirits to complex systems of cosmology, theology, and morality. A massive shift that would echo throughout time. Then came what is often called the Axial Age, a period roughly between the 8th and 3rd centuries BCE, a time of profound intellectual and spiritual transformation in different parts of the world. Thinkers and prophets began to challenge established religious norms and seek deeper truths. We see the birth of philosophical and religious movements that emphasized ethics, personal responsibility, and the importance of inner reflection. Figures such as Zoroaster in Persia, the Hebrew prophets in ancient Israel, the Buddha in India, and the thinkers of ancient Greece challenged tradition, questioning the nature of reality, the existence of suffering, and the path to liberation. This was not a rejection of the spiritual, but rather a shift in emphasis from ritualistic worship to moral conduct, from appeasing the gods to the pursuit of individual enlightenment. These new perspectives emphasize the importance of personal experience, ethical conduct, and search for higher meaning, concepts that profoundly influenced subsequent religious traditions. This was not a time of a single unifying belief, but rather a diverse flowering of spiritual thought, an ongoing human search for understanding and meaning, and even more solidifying concepts, such as monotheism. From these ancient roots, religions continue to unfold. The Abrahamic religions of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam trace their origins to the ancient Middle East, shaping the lives and beliefs of billions of people. The Eastern traditions of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism offer diverse paths to enlightenment and spiritual liberation. Numerous indigenous religions around the world continue to honor their ancestral spirits and the sacredness of the earth. All religions share some commonalities and seek to answer the big questions about life, death, and nature.